biggest threats are sadly the terrorist attacks that we've had recently, people's fears of that. But it won't stop people travelling, people will still travel. The Chinese market is massive, people will be coming from China to destinations like Paris, despite what's happening. There's still a large number of tourists still coming to Paris, still coming to London, still going to Rome and other places of this type. So I think the market will still continue to grow. I think the UK market will continue to grow, and the European market will continue to grow as well. Basically based on the inward investment from other tourists and businesses.
Well, I think you always have to worry about what happens in the global economy, what happens to traffic, what the implications of that are for your particular airport. I mean, and you know, the global environment at the moment faces some challenges or some risks. Saying that a week before the Brexit referendum is an example. Perhaps that's quite localised, but you know, traffic is always a thing I think that you have to worry about from an operational level because it drives the business.
I think the greatest, well, the biggest uncertainties that we face at the moment, Brexit, okay, this is going to be out of the way in a couple of weeks and we'll all forget we had the debate, I hope. Aside from that, security obviously remains a really important issue, and I think we need to, the way I look at the aviation business is often through the eyes of passengers, and I think we need to ensure that passengers remain confident. And if they remain confident, then they'll continue to fly. We've seen some real challenges over the last 12 months in North Africa and elsewhere, of course, and much closer to home than that in very recent months. And I really hope that settles down, actually, and that confidence returns, and that people's desire to travel continues unabated.
Well, clearly capacity issues are a major issue around the world. And many European airports are running out of capacity. In Asia, there's not a lot of capacity available for development. That combined with what's happening in air traffic control, we see increasingly, particularly in Europe, air traffic controllers striking regularly because of the efforts being made to rationalize the air traffic control systems. That leads to disruption, it leads to loss of passenger traffic, both for airlines and airports.
Lovely, thank you. Sorry? If you could describe GAD in one word, what would it be?
It is the major meeting place for anybody involved in airport development and airport finance. It is the one place where you have to be if you're working in finance or development of airports.
Well, I think there are a few things, but I would say today it's more the uncertainty around regulatory environments, which is not only affected purely regulated airports, but also other airports, which find it hard to assess what's going to be the new pressure from the regulator on my security cost, on my ability to manage my outsourced contract, traffic control, the new EU license, what's going to be the meaning of the Brexit situation for us. So I think those topics on regulated activities within the airport are going to be hot topic for discussions. And at least on the operational side, this is where we find large amount of very tough discussion to be discussed within the airport that we manage in Belfast City.
Right, so I think around threats would be about security, so operational level, so making sure that there's a right balance between the customer satisfaction in terms of like running the airport in a good way, getting people through security, getting people through check-in, but also obviously maintaining that level of security in terms of like doing thorough checks and all that because of basically how the world is at the moment with all these threats about like their security basically. So yeah, I think that would be the main thing that I think about. Yeah.
Can I also ask you, if you could describe GAD in one word, what would it be?
GAD in one word. So it would be really the place to, I don't know, it's just like a global thing of airports. I mean, anything we do with the airport world. It would be just a community of the place to be, the community to be for airports, I guess, for anything to do with the global.